Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek, and in today's video, I want to show you how, without any kind of remote or anything, have your computer automatically switch your cameras depending on where you're looking. As you can see right now, I got my main camera shining straight on me, that you guys are seeing. However, if I want to look over at my Twitch chat while I'm streaming like this, boom, you'll see I now have another camera over here that is pointing at me. If I go back to center, then you'll see we're back on the main camera. And if I look over to my right, you'll see we're now hitting this camera right here. And so my main camera is a nice DSLR. However, the two secondary cameras you saw to the left and right come up for a minute, those are Logitech C920 webcams. And then last but not least, if I get up and walk around in my office, there's yet another camera that shines and captures the entire room in case I get up and want to do something, whether I want to go lounge on the couch for a minute. No matter what I do, it automatically switches to whichever one I'm doing. Again, if I look to the left, it just automatically, sometimes it takes a second, but most of the time it's pretty instantaneous. Look to the right, again, boom. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool, eh? All right, so let's go ahead and roll the intro, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm doing this. All right, guys, so before I actually dive into how to do this, let me just tell you about the setup a little bit so that you kind of understand what you may or may not need. So in order to run this, you're obviously going to need multiple cameras. And so what I am using is, over the last couple years of streaming, I've picked up cameras here and there, like webcams and stuff. So I'm using an array of webcams to do this. You can use all professional, DSLR cameras, mirrorless cameras. You can use webcams. You can use an Xbox Connect, which I'm going to go over, but you can do all of that different stuff, or what you have lying around basically is what will work for you. So the main camera that I have right now that you guys are seeing me on, that's my Canon M200. It's like a $600 mirrorless camera. It lets you swap out the lens, gives you kind of that blurry background if you want it and stuff like that. Then I had two Logitech C920s over there in a desk drawer from when I used to use those before I got more professional cameras and stuff. And so I just pulled those back out and hooked those up to the computer. And then the whole room shot, that is actually an Xbox Connect that I have the hardware to hook it to my PC, and I can use it basically as kind of a webcam type device. The nice thing about the Xbox Connect is it has a super wide angle lens, so it works great for something like that, and they're not very expensive at all. So now let's actually get into how this works. So you have 4 different cameras. You don't need 4, you could do 3. You could just do the center, the left, and the right, which they're not changing anymore, obviously, because I have it turned off so that I can, show you guys what's happening. Also, real quick, just to give quick credit, I did not find this software. Epos Vox, I think that's how you say his name. He actually did a YouTube video on this as well, but it was a little confusing for me to follow some of these setup parts, so I wanted to do it as well and just kind of walk you through some of the issues I had with setup and how to fix those. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and jump to the desktop, and then we will take a look at the software that allows you to do this. Okay, so here we are on my desktop, and you can see I'm using a program called Your Director AI. I'll stick a link down in the description that takes you to their website. You have to sign up for like an account on their website and purchase the product for free, which tells me that most likely eventually they're going to start charging some kind of a monthly fee or yearly fee or one-time fee, but it tells me they're probably at some point going to start charging for it. But as of right now, it is free to use. So what you do is in this program, the way this program works is you set up a tracking camera inside this program. So you can see here, you can use NDI if you have like NDI cameras or anything, or if you want to send like an NDI source from OBS to here or whatever, you can do it either way. Or if you're like myself, where I have a CamLink Pro, that's the one that's a PCI and it has like 4 inputs. You can actually use it in multiple programs. So I can use it in this program as well as OBS so that it's separate, and I don't have to do any kind of an NDI thing or anything. But basically you need a way to capture your main camera, most likely either through NDI or a capture card, your face. So what this program is doing is it's using artificial intelligence and all of the new artificial intelligence tech that's coming out to track your face. As you can see, if you're looking at the desktop, you can see around my mouth, my nose, my eyes, my eyebrows is basically, a little like AI thing that's tracking me. It's showing me like that's your face. I'm tracking it. And so what it does is when I look to the left or to the right, it notices if I'm, from the side profile, or if it doesn't see my face at all, it switches, depending on which one of those happen, it switches between OBS scenes. So you connect this program to OBS using OBS WebSockets. You do currently have to use version 4 of their WebSockets. The newest one comes with version 5, so you might need to download the WebSockets 4 plugin, which is not a big deal. But it uses that. When you connect to it, boom, we connect. Now, if you see, if I look to the left, it's gonna go to scene camera only, and I forget what it's called. Let's take a look. Camera only 2. And then depending on whether you're looking at the center or you're looking to the left, you can see the left light now lights up. Or if you're looking to the right, and again, the right light lights up. Or if it doesn't see your face at all, it goes to the out of tracking. It says out off, out of tracking one, which will go to a different scene. And then you can set a scene for each of these. So what I do is, let me go ahead and turn it on for a minute. When I'm looking straight ahead, the center tracking one, boom. So then when I look to the left, I got a camera here that comes on. I look to the right again, there's a camera here. And if it doesn't see a face out of tracking, so like this, it takes a second though to pop up, but just because the other camera takes a minute though, there you go. Then it switches to the 4th camera, which is a room camera. As you can see, as soon as it sees my face, it's back to the center. Again, left, very, very cool, right? Back on the desktop. So I use this mainly in my just chatting phase of my streams. The camera is full screen in OBS, and depending on if I'm looking straight ahead, to the left, right, or if I'm walking around the room or whatever, that's where the program chooses which camera basically to choose. But I'm not setting up cameras inside of this program besides the actual tracking camera, which is just the camera that's doing the tracking of my face, whichever camera it is that you want to use. So all of these are just scenes. So you actually have to set up all the separate cameras and stuff in OBS in separate scenes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with like sources or anything like that. It has to be separate scenes, and you can only choose like one combo, or you'd have to go in here and switch them all, which means if I have gameplay on the screen and I got my little camera kind of like how it is now, I can't just switch that camera in the bottom right without changing full scenes again. But if I, want to have my just chat and change, you kind of see the dilemma. Anyways, there is a way to block and unblock with a hotkey. You can set the hotkey to whatever you want. You can see the red light's on, which means it is not like it's blocking, it's not switching the OBS scenes. So you can set that, like if you go into a game, but when you're doing the just chatting, you want it to switch cameras and stuff. In the game, the front one's probably fine or whatever. So you can do that, which is nice. And then, like I said, the tracking camera you just set up here, it can be your main camera as well. If you have a capture card that doesn't allow you to use it in both applications at the same time, OBS and the Your Director AI, what you can do is you can use it in Your Director AI and then just use Your Director AI Virtual Cam to go ahead and then capture the virtual cam inside OBS, which will be the same camera, but obviously it won't have the tracking blue lines over your face and stuff. So that works really well. I've done it both ways. With the CamLink Pro, I can use it in this program as well as in OBS, so no worries for me. And then the other thing that you need to know is it connects with OBS WebSockets. So the newest versions of OBS uses OBS WebSocket 5. You need OBS WebSocket 4 currently. So you have to download the plugin for 4, which is the older version, to use this program. Hopefully they'll upgrade it to 5 eventually. I'll leave a link also where you can get this software down in the description. However, a couple things to note. It is free software. However, you have to buy it for free and like make a license and account and stuff. My guess is they're probably going to start, as it gets popular, they'll probably charge a monthly fee or a yearly fee, or hopefully maybe a one-time fee, although most software companies don't do one-time fees anymore. So, it's free, but it could become paid, so just be aware of that. And then the last thing I'll mention is you can also fine-tune the CPU GPU usage. If you want to use more or less, the more it uses, the quicker it works and the more accurate it is. And then also you can set your camera's position. Maybe it's off a little bit one way or the other. You can adjust where the camera is relative to you with this dial here. And then it kind of just tells you what it's using in terms of GPU, CPU, things like that. Again, very cool software, pretty easy to set up once you understand that you're only setting up the tracking camera in this program, and then everything else is getting set in OBS, and you're just selecting the scenes down here that you want to happen depending on how it's tracking your face, whether to the left, whether to the right, or whether it doesn't see your face, or if it's center. Also, shout out to Epos Vox. I did not find this software. He did a video on it. You should definitely give him a follow on YouTube because he's an awesome streaming tutorial creator or just, streamer in general that shows other streamers how to do some really cool stuff, like myself, or like maybe Alpha Gaming if you're familiar with that channel on YouTube. So very similar to those styles. Definitely recommend checking them out. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope it helped you out. If you guys liked it, don't forget to hit the gosh darn like button. I appreciate it very much. Subscribe as well. I do tech videos. I do streaming videos, streaming tech videos, stuff like that. So hit the subscribe button. Love your faces. Thank you guys for the love and support. See you on the next one. Until then, peace out, everybody. Later, nerds.